You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Can we talk about Elton John for a second?
Can we please talk about Elton John for a second?
That story of him, for anyone who hasn't heard, Elton John was in like France at some shoe store or something like that. He asked if they had a bathroom that he could use. They said no, because they didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Elton John just whips it out, starts peeing in a bottle.
Do you think that he made any effort to conceal it? Because, he gets denied the public washroom. He calls over his assistant, security, whatever. They provide him a bottle. Does he just go? Or do you think they, try to body block?
I don't know. From everything that I've read, he's just, in the middle of the store, just dong out, peeing into a bottle like he's Ricky's dad from Trailer Park Boys or something.
I would love to meet Sir Elton John before he passes. I don't know that I want to see his penis.
The best part of the story is the way the owner describes it is he pees in the bottle. He even spilled onto the floor.
A little dribble.
His security guard got a towel out, wiped up the piss that's on the floor. Then the shop owner asked, who the hell are you? And he said,
what are you doing?
I'm Elton John. And it's weird because the owner of the store is the one who's complained and let the story kind of go viral. But then the owner of the store also took a picture with Elton John, claims that they shook hands and they left with no ill will.
The only part that I hold against the shop owner is that he shook hands. There's no reason to shake hands with literally anybody who's just held their own genitals.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Dude had his hands on his own Rocket Man a few seconds ago.
But if Elton John is in here and we have carpeted floors, it's so much worse. If Elton John comes in here and pees in a bottle, you're not going to ask him for a picture? You're not going to take a picture with Sir Elton John?
I probably would have taken a picture of him peeing. Dude, that's the better picture.
That's my viral TikTok.
Dude, I'm putting that on the wall, dude. That's the way better picture.
Do you just take the picture of him or do you do it selfie style? So he's in the background peeing and you're in there giving a smile?
I might even take the bottle home if he lets me.
What happened to the bottle?
Yeah.
Who took the bottle? Where is the bottle now? Because if the security guard took it, there's a good chance that the pee was disposed of in some fashion. But if they just threw the bottle in the garbage or if they left it behind, there is a better than zero chance that Sir Elton John's pee became a souvenir.
I mean, it was in France. People just piss everywhere in general, I guess.
I honestly, until you just said it now, didn't know that it was in France, and that does take some of the question off. Now, I get it a little bit more. Sorry to our French listeners.
I will say, that security guard, though,
tough job.
You got to be getting paid pretty good to be wiping up some dude's piss on the regular.
Do you think he just keeps that thing on him at all times? Does Elton bottle piss?
See a piss jug
frequently? Does this guy have to keep a Five Alive glass jar on him at all times?
It's rich guy stuff, man. Only rich people can get away with doing some shit like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you are just a regular person, you do not get to walk out of there scot-free after peeing in a store.
Bro, go to Wendy's right now and whip it out and see what happens.
Buddy, go to Wendy's right now. You might not even be able to get into the actual restroom. Never mind do it in the main lounge area.
My goal to everyone today is to try and pee in a bottle in public somewhere.
Nope. Legally, we cannot say that to people.
If Elton John can do it, why can't you?
Because we're not Elton John, and Elton John doesn't listen to this podcast, so you're not Elton John either. Do not go pee somewhere today.
Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road, or Yellow Piss Bottle, rather.
Yellow Brick Flow?
Yeah. Piss in a bottle today.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
How do we feel about babies on the golf course? My mom lives out in Listowel.
Okay.
And she backs onto a golf course there.
Nice.
And she sent me this photo the other day. Here, look at this. It's someone, they're just on the green there.
Okay, yeah,
They've got their stroller just put off to the side.
Right, yeah. See, that's when you say, how do we feel about babies on the golf course? My question is, how did they get there?
Yeah.
Brought by parents in the stroller? It's no different than a push cart for your clubs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose a human life is of more value than your clubs.
I know I'm going to sound like a dick here. I don't think babies should be allowed on the golf course. I'm honestly surprised the course that my mom backs onto is a premium, 36-hole course.
High end.
I'm surprised that they would allow that. I honestly think, I'll give you 2 reasons here.
Okay.
I think it's a dick move on 2 different angles.
Sure.
A, doesn't seem like a safe place to have your kid in a stroller.
Depending on the stroller, they should be fine. Like, they've got the hood, the awning that comes over top. It would have to be a very specific shot for the kid to get hit by a golf ball.
You've been out golfing with me and my buddies before. Shots go flying left, right, and center.
Right, but we're not encased in a vehicle, so to speak.
Sure. But if your baby gets hit by a ball, you cannot get mad at me. Is all I'm saying is if you bring your baby on the golf course.
I think that's 100%. From the parent perspective, I think you're right. If I bring my baby to the golf course and gets hit by a ball, I can't be like, that's it, we're throwing down. No, that's on me.
And 2, I will say this, nightmare partner to get paired up with. If I showed up to the first tee box,
sure,
and you have your baby, that sucks.
How chill is the baby? I mean, if the baby's just sleeping.
See, now we're just trying to justify the baby. I'm just saying, imagine in your backswing, all you hear is,
yeah, no, 100%. That would suck. If your kid is fussing, fighting,
people
whatever.
complain about people playing music on their carts and stuff.
Right.
Let alone you got a baby out there crying, pooping, crapping all day.
I'm not pooping on you.
I'm just saying. There's no reason. Like, I get it. If you're a parent, you have your kid, maybe you're like, oh, I'd love to bring him out there. Find a babysitter.
See, here's what I think. I don't think anybody books the tea time and goes, yeah, me and the kid are going to go for a walk. I think this is a case of I had a tea time and I had a babysitter. Something fell through and now, like, I'm not going to cancel the tea time.
Should have stayed home, bro.
Why?
Should have stayed home.
Why?
Why do you have to ruin everyone else's day and bring your kid along?
Nobody said he's there to ruin your day.
See, now I'm sounding like a dick, but I know I'm not going to back down on this stance. There's no reason to bring a baby to a golf course.
I say if the baby's chill and it's in a stroller.
Would you bring a baby to a bar?
Would I bring a baby to a bar?
I'm just saying, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's like,
so
if you couldn't find a babysitter and you wanted to go out drinking with your friends, would you bring a baby to a bar?
I'll say this. I've seen it. I've worked in some bars.
It's not right, though.
I've worked in some bars up north where there was definitely a bassinet on the table. You know what I'm talking about? Would I do it with my kids? Probably not. Yeah. Although, what if I'm the DD? What if I'm not drinking? And now I've got the kid, and I'm looking after the kid, but I'm also safe driving everybody home. Is there something wrong with that?
As soon as you drop off everyone at home, you're getting lit up in the group chat, I guarantee you.
Well, fair enough.
No babies on the golf course.
I don't know, man. I don't think you can convince me on this one. I think as long as the person is doing what they can to take care of the baby, it's not making too much noise. You also, if you've got a baby on the golf course, you got to be willing to cut and leave, right?
Yeah.
If the baby starts fussing and screaming, you got to be ready to be like, all right, hey, I made it 6 holes in, time for me to go home.
The only baby I want on the golf course is my buddy Gerald, who complains that we're counting all of his shots, okay?
Yeah, Gerald really takes it in this show. Especially during golf season.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Y'all got to stop this narrative that I hate babies, okay? I just don't want them on the golf course.
Or anywhere else that you might be. Tell me I'm wrong.
There's a handful of places that I don't want to see babies.
Like wherever you are currently. That being...
I don't hate babies, but... And you know what? Can I list off the places that I don't want to see babies?
Sure, yeah. Do we have time for you to list everywhere?
Maybe not all of them.
Okay, all right.
So golf courses is one.
Sure.
Okay. Weddings. Hear me out. When you bring your baby to the wedding, you don't really have that most fun. I mean, during the ceremony, you're pretty much just shushing your kid the entire time.
Sure.
Right? And then during the reception itself, you're like trying to force your kid to eat. Unless it's your excuse to get out of the wedding early and you don't want to hang out.
True.
It's a great excuse.
I think if the couple, if the bride and groom are okay with babies at the wedding, then bring your babies to the wedding.
Sure.
But if the bride and groom say no babies, Don't argue. Don't surprise bring your kids.
Dick move.
Respect their wishes.
So I've got golf courses. I've got weddings. I'm going to say this one on behalf of all hairdressers out there. Salons. All right? Now, I know Courtney doesn't mind it because she's got her own space. She doesn't work with anyone else. She's got her own space. So
Right.
She doesn't care if people bring their babies.
Yeah.
But if you're going to a salon where there's multiple stylists and you're in like one big room together,
Like a Supercuts.
that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks so bad because not even like a Supercuts, like a high-end salon.
Fair.
I know a lot of you ladies spend a lot of money on your hair. There's nothing more annoying than.
Can I say this? Not that I spend a lot of time in high-end salons, but
Yeah.
still, I would rather listen to a screaming baby than make small talk with a hairdresser. I'll just say that.
I'd rather just not talk at all. So I've got golf courses, weddings, salons.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this one, dog parks.
Dog parks.
Don't bring your baby to the dog park. I see people do this all the time. Dog parks is for the dogs.
Oh, inside, like in the area where the dogs are.
Even there's a certain age of kids where it's like, why are you bringing your kids in there?
Honestly, it is kind of, you're just asking for trouble in that situation. I'm trying to be like pro-parent here and sort of stand against you and stand up for my fellow people with child, but this one, I don't think you can argue with you. If you bring your kids, especially the small, non-mobile ones, to the dog park, you're basically just saying, maybe my kid will get bit by a dog today.
Some dogs see your baby as a chew toy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I know that's a mean thing to say, but it's like, why are you bringing your baby in there?
It's just, it's a weird decision to do because best case scenario, nobody has fun, right? Worst case scenario, someone gets maimed.
And finally, movie theaters. Movie theaters. There's no reason to bring your baby to the movies. They're not going to remember the movie. They're not going to enjoy it. They're going to ruin it for everybody else.
Some movie theaters do specific showings for parents. And it's not kids' movies. It's regular grown-up movies.
Yeah.
But you bring your babies, I'm on board with that. Just a regular showing, I agree with you. I hate to do it, but I agree.
You want to see the new Avatar movie? You wait till it comes out on demand.
You get a babysitter.
Yeah.
You can't bring your kids to the movie. It's not fair to every other person, especially with how expensive movies are now.
Maybe you should have wrapped it up if you wanted to go to the movies.
You should have thought 9 months ago that they might make another Avatar
Shouldn't
movie.
have buttered your popcorn, all right?
Oh, God.
That's on you.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I've learned that people are nasty. There's a stat that I came across the other day. It says that the average person showers. Actually, you know what? I want to ask you, how much do you think the average person showers in the run of a week?
I mean, I alter because I shower every 2 days. So it's either 3, then the next week is 4. So I'm going to say, I'll say 3. 3 seems like a reasonable number of times to shower, unless you're doing a lot of physical activity.
You're right. You're like right on the precipice of it.
It's
2.5 is the average per week. You were at 3 though.
Oh, yeah.
Take half of a shower, it's kind of the same.
No, but I'm 3, then 4. That's every 2 weeks. Like, I average out to 3.5.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a full shower less than what
Sure.
I'm taking.
Only 3 a week?
Well, it
4 a
depends
week?
if I'm doing anything physical. Like, if I'm on my regular gym schedule, then I'm minimum 4 a week.
Okay, yeah, because this stat says that the average person showers 2.5 times a week. Am I the weird one here? I shower twice a day, dude.
Twice a day is a lot.
I shower in the morning, like
Yeah.
before I come here, and I
Right.
shower before I go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I get the before bed shower. A lot of people like to have that like nice clean feeling as you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Twice a day is a lot. I think once a day is probably the average. And then if you live kind of a more sedimentary lifestyle, then you can go down from there, but you shouldn't go too far down.
Over 7 days, 2.5 feels nasty. And I mean, like, I get it. Like, you know, life is expensive to run the water and stuff
Sure,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
pandemic has made people change their habits because maybe they're not going into work or whatever. But,
Right.
man, maybe the pandy made us drop our standards a little bit. Or maybe I have high standards. But, dude, it's also the summer, man. Like, my crotch is like Splash Mountain. Like,
shower uptake definitely goes up in the summertime because there's more days where you'll get sweaty, even if you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me is like, how sweaty did I get in a day?
Yeah.
Like if I left my air-conditioned house to come to my air-conditioned job and then went back home and sat in front of my air-conditioned Xbox all day, I don't necessarily feel like at the end of the day I need to have a shower.
I don't know, man. Like the stank comes out regardless.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. I'm not saying I never take it. I'm saying I'm less likely. Whereas, like, if we have an event, if we're going out, if I'm in the sun, if we're making a beach trip, am I lathered up in mosquito oils and sunscreens, all those things? I think a lot of that factors into, am I going to have a shower today?
I'm not like a germaphobe or anything, but just like
Two showers a day says maybe otherwise.
In the morning, I feel gross, dude. Like getting out of my bed, and then before I go into my bed, I need to be clean.
I think that's the crazy thing is that you're having the shower right before bed, and then you're doing nothing but sleeping, and then you're still waking up feeling like you got to have another shower.
I sleep in a bed with another person and 2 dogs on top of that.
That's
like,
fair.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I feel like when I wake up in the morning, I feel gross.
Yeah. So when when you go to the gym in the morning, is that a third shower or is that the morning one?
No, that's the morning one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to do the math. I'm like, are you hitting 3 some days?
Some days, man.
Really?
I mean, like some days to beat the heat, I'll hop in a cold shower.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
I feel like I'm getting judgy eyes, and I see the text line here, people calling me crazy. You're forgetting that the average is 2.5 a week.
No, but I think the thing is 2.5 a week is too low. 2 a day is too high. There's a happy medium in the middle, brother. There's a happy medium between 2.5 and 14.
All I'm saying is some of you need to wash your ass.
You are 100% right.
Absolutely. I've been out in this town. I smell you guys.
Because the fact that 2.5 is the average means that there are people pulling that down. There are people who are having less than 2.5 showers a week. And those are the people we really need to be looking after.
I see the text coming in at me of saying like, oh, how are you going to shower after showering? You can never be too clean. You can never be too clean.
What was that billionaire that built a spruce airplane? You're kind of getting that vibe all of a sudden.
Oh, I'm sorry, I like to smell good.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but wash your damn ass, because apparently a lot of you are not showering.
Not enough, anyway.
I will like to say to all my brethren out there who are doing the twice-a-day shower, I'd like to give you a round of applause. It's good to know that there's fellow clean people out there.
Well, I will say, though, the general vibe from the people who are like, oh, I shower twice a day, is they all have, like, physical labor jobs. I don't think I saw any text from people like you and I that sit in an office or sit at a desk.
I do stuff throughout the day, okay? I am outside doing things regardless, okay? Not all of us just sit inside, man.
Someone did text us in, and I forgot. This is in biology. In school, you learn that too many showers can actually strip the essential oils off your skin. So that is another thing. Like, if you're not working and sweating every single day, you really got to watch your skincare routine, like what you're using to try and put that moisture back into your body.
Well, and people are saying your skin must be so dry. Lotion, baby. I get out of the shower and I put lotion on every single time.
That's just it. If you're gonna go sort of to the extreme with the showers and the cleanliness, you have to buy these products to get it back going.
The only reason, if you're just joining us while we're talking about this, is because apparently the average person only showers 2.5 times a week, which is disgusting in my opinion.
What do you think the breakdown on that is? Like, you got to think, like, it's probably like a Sunday night, Monday morning start the week shower.
I don't know. I think it's someone who's just not showering is what it is.
I was like, where does the second, like, how long do you go before the second shower?
I don't know. I'm not hanging out with you. That's for damn sure. I did look up because I wanted to see how gross people are.
Sure.
I found some fun facts for you if you want to play a little filthy feud right
Absolutely.
now here.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. The average person, how many times in a month do you think they brush their teeth?
So this is not me. This is the average person. What do I think the average person, the 2.5 showers a week person, brushes their teeth in a week?
Sorry, once a day, rather.
I'm gonna say 40%.
48% of men
48%.
say they brush their teeth once a day, which means half of people aren't even brushing their teeth once a day.
That's less than half people are just be like, "God, brushing teeth. I get that 2-3 times in a week."
How long do you think the average person goes without washing their towel?
Oh, dude. So I know guys bring this stat way down because we think a towel can last us forever. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say the average person, 2 weeks. Am I under guessing?
1 in 5 people say they wash their towel once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah.
Oh!
They say that the average single male will go 38 days.
Damn, dude.
With the same towel.
Damn. You know what it is? Because I'm clean, so the towel's only ever touching clean body.
That's not the way that works.
It's not science.
That's not the way
how
that
that works.
That's not the way that works.
Oh.
We said the brushing teeth one. I should have went to this one next. In the run of a week, what percentage of people do you think floss once a week?
Oh, based solely on the anger of the average dentist, I'm going to say it's like 25 to 30%.
It says 68%, but that's got to be a lie.
68% of people are not flossing once a week.
That's got to be a lie.
Absolutely not.
I wish it was true, but that's the biggest lie that we tell our dentists.
You know what? Maybe that stat has come up since they started selling those like little flosser picks. But back when it was you had to pull off a strip of floss and get each tooth, no shot, 68%.
All right. We'll wrap up with this one here. What percentage of people do you think wash their hands after going to the bathroom?
I think we hit good numbers during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I think we have probably fallen off again.
Out of 100%.
Out of 100%.
Yeah.
Wash their hands after going to the bathroom. I'm going to say 57%.
57?
I want that to be true. Actually, I want it to be wrong. I want to be low.
It's 20%.
20% of people?
And the craziest thing is, only 30% of people use soap when they wash their hands.
It's the other... So out of the 20% of people who are washing their hands, 70% of that are just giving it a quick splash and go?
Mm-hmm.
This is why we have to cancel handshakes.
The crazier one, only 10% of people dry their hands.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I had to use a public washroom yesterday that didn't have the air thing was broken.
Yeah.
And I walked out looking like I was ready for surgery. I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Now, my thing is, though, I've also seen stuff online that says that hand dryers are even grosser than anything else.
Well, everything in the bathroom is disgusting.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. I personally prefer, give me a towel. You know what's the worst one? When you find a bathroom that has the never-ending towel.
Oh, from like the 80s or something?
Yeah. It's literally a towel that just keeps cycling through.
Yeah, you can get chlamydia from those.
I'll tell you right now, put me in the 80% don't wash their hands if I walk into a bathroom and I see that on the wall.
Yeah.
No shot am I touching that thing.
Just some food for thought if you shake someone's hand today, all right, guys?
Just don't. Don't shake hands anymore.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We are on, day 4 of the LCBO strike right now?
Yeah. They went on strike midnight the morning of the 5th. So, yeah, we are just a little over 5 days in.
Yesterday, Doug Ford announced something that, you know what? A lot of people are giving him some flack for, but I don't 100% hate.
Okay.
It's a nice thing to promote local businesses. If you haven't seen the commercial here, have you seen it yet?
No, I'm not sure about this one.
Okay, here, watch my screen. I'll play the commercial for you.
It's summertime in Ontario. That means more time outside with family and friends at a neighborhood barbecue or a camping trip. Even though LCBO workers are on strike, there's still plenty of options for you to buy beer, wine, cider, coolers, and even spirits, including products made right here in Ontario.
Interesting.
We've created this handy new map that shows what stores are open and what they sell.
So they basically got a website set up so you can find like breweries, distilleries, all that kind of stuff, right?
I do like that. I would honestly like to see this once the LCBO strike is settled. I would like to see this continue as a thing.
I will say, I do find it funny sometimes the things that Doug Ford acts very fast on.
Right, yeah,
There's a lot of other stuff in our province that he doesn't act so fast on, but the LCBO closes down and he's like, well, I gotta let people know where the booze is.
Gotta find all those drinks. Where are you at, guys?
But my favorite part is, and I don't know if you noticed it here, I'll play the video again, and if you haven't seen it, text Doug to 762-555. I'll send you the video. He's grilling, right? Like, that's his whole thing, is he's in the backyard.
The whole thing looks silly.
So
It's summertime in Ontario.
that barbecue is not on.
Not a chance.
How horrible do those hamburgers look as well?
They look like they were steamed.
Now,
Even though LCBO
now it goes from the
workers are on
barbecue to
strike,
him
there's still
sitting there at the
plenty of
computer. Notice the tray of full burgers, and now it's just one burger.
He plowed 3 of those through in between takes.
I watched it with Courtney last night, and she's like, is he implying that he just had a bunch of drinks and ate all those burgers?
No, he hasn't had the drinks yet. He's got to go online and see where he can buy the drinks from.
Here, let me go from the beginning. If you notice,
It's summertime
he's got
in
like
Ontario.
8 craft beers by the
Time
barbecue.
He
outside
does,
with
and
family
now they're all
friends,
gone.
The neighborhood barbecue or camping trip.
So in my mind, I watched it. I'm like, Dougie got hammered.
Yeah.
Ate some horrible hamburgers.
Yeah.
And then was like, I'm almost out of beer.
Hey, 2 things you don't do, Doug. You don't drink and grill, and you don't drink and go on the internet, all right?
Oh, my
you
God.
might start looking for a craft beer map, but it's not going to get better from there.
Oh my God. That
Have
shot
you
killed
seen
me.
the other side of this this back and forth, though, from the LCBO Workers Union?
Did the union put out an ad?
They put out a commercial, and they're sort of... This actually commercial came out a little while ago, but they've put it back into rotation. I saw a ton of it watching Monday Night Raw last night on Sportsnet.
Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. So it's the LCBO union?
Yeah, the LCBO union. I can't remember exactly what their union is called, but it's a parody of Galen Weston from Loblaws.
Okay.
As a greedy CEO trying to get his hands on the LCBO because they're putting more liquor
I
sales
think I found it.
in grocery stores.
Is this it?
Hello, poor.
Yes.
I'm Callum. I may be rich, but I'm drowning in profits. That's why I want a big slice of the LCBO. Sure, they invest $2.5 billion in your community. That's basically nothing to me. Stop funding public services. Start funding me. No, I get it. I just don't see why we need schools and hospitals. Pick one. Who's going to both?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they really go in on the idea of the rich grocery CEOs.
Dude, the start of that commercial is amazing, by the way. Can we run that back real quick?
Hello, poors.
That's how I want to start every conversation. I want to get rid of, when you start the show and you're like, I'm Brock, I want to, instead of saying I'm Dalby, just say,
Hello, poors.
It's a great way to get people's attention.
when you get paid at work and you go to see all your friends.
Hello, poors.
After you win the poker game at the end of a Friday night.
Hello, poors.
After you finalize the divorce and you see your husband for the first time.
Hello, poors.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dougie Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
See what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is acrimony. Yeah, acrimony. 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 And it's anger and bitterness. Yeah, there's too much of that out there. And can't we all just get along? Way too short for that. Anyways, that's about it. Have a great one. Cheers are up.
Acrimony?
Acrimony, yeah. You see, he's saying it right. It is just sort of like it's a bitter feeling, not a bitter taste. Like you wouldn't describe a lemon as tasting acrimonious.
Oh, okay.
But you could describe a Leaf fan in July as having acrimony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or I could say that my least favorite Metallica album is Saint Acrimony.
I don't know.
Would that be?
I see what you're doing.
Would that be
I
fitting?
don't know that it fits quite right, but I see Honestly, I mean, what are you going to disrespect St. Anger? Call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Who cares at this point?
I will say I do find it ironic that matrimony is the state of being married versus acrimony is what marriage really is for some people.
After the first year or so, it goes from matrimony to acrimony.
Real quick.
Transition is really smooth.
Yeah.
It really does flow from one to the other.
I mean, I guess if you see someone being angry at like work or something today, you could be like, why are you so acrimonious today?
Yeah. Hey, man, you feel like you got a lot of acrimony going on here today. You okay? You talk to somebody? I don't want to hear it, but maybe hit a therapist.
Acrimony. Use it wherever you can.
I like it.
And if you're feeling acrimonious in your marriage, well, be like my parents. Get a divorce.
Hold it in until one random car ride?
You know me too well.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.